Let's stop having this fight, people. All right, let's talk about shrinking dicks. Good segue. Speaking of all the dicks who are trying to sneak theology into our government systems, let's talk about how dicks are shrinking because of pollution. Dr. Shanna Swan has found that chemicals called phthalates are causing human babies to be born with malformed genitals. Penises are shrinking and genitals becoming malformed because of pollution. An environmental scientist has warned in a new book detailing the challenges facing human reproduction. Dr. Shanna Swan writes that humanity is facing an existential crisis in fertility rates as a result of phthalates, a chemical used when manufacturing plastics that impacts the hormone-producing endocrine system. As a result of this pollution, a growing number of babies are being born with small penises. Oh, you laugh now. You laugh now. But one day, it could be your kid with a tiny dick. And then what? Her book titled Countdown, should be titled Shrink Down, or Shrinkage, examines how our modern world is threatening sperm counts, altering male and female reproductive development, and imperiling the future of the human race. It's hard to not read this story and be like completely immature. But this is also a really bad thing. Just realized their city is quite polluted. Same here. Dr. Swan's research began by examining phthalate syndrome, something observed in rats which found that when fetuses were exposed to the chemical, they were likely to be born with shrunken genitals. She discovered that male human babies who had been exposed to the phthalates in the womb had a shorter anogenital distance, something that correlated with penile volume. The chemical has an industrial use in making plastics more flexible, but Dr. Swan says it is being transmitted into toys and foods and subsequently harms human development. Phthalates mimic the hormone estrogen. I think that's how you pronounce it. Hang on. I don't want to fuck this up.
Estrogen.
Estrogen.
It's just estrogen? But isn't it a... Time to invent Matrix Pod babies, Elon. Also, we need to find a legit way to extend people's penises, because one of the things that makes it easier for a woman to get pregnant is if she has a climax, and while I also believe that it's not the size of the wave, but the motion of the ocean. Nobody's getting very far in the Atlantic on a dinghy or a rowboat. Or, as this article suggests, a remote control boat. So, just saying. Mimic the hormone estrogen and thus disrupt the natural production of hormones in the human body, which researchers have linked to interference in sexual development in infants and behaviors in adults. Prawn website ads be like, allow me to introduce ourselves. If I were to put this on YouTube, the recommendations would get really weird really quickly. Dr. Swan, who is a professor in environmental medicine and public health at the Mount Sinai Hospital in New York City, based her work on a series of peer reviewed research studies. One study, published in 2017, found that sperm levels among men in Western countries had dropped by more than 50% over the past 4 decades after examining 185 studies involving close to 45,000 healthy men. Dr. Swan believes that the rapidly decreasing fertility rate means that most men will be unable to produce viable sperm by 2045. Holy shit. Well, that got dark. This is why we need the Green New Deal, people. We need to stop it before your shrinky dink becomes an innie. So, yep. And of course it's plastics. Of course it's fucking plastics. People. Oil manufacturing and microplastics and things like that are destroying your dick. If that doesn't get conservatives on board, I don't know what will. But it's destroying your dick, people. Whenever somebody comes in and says anything about birth rates or comes in and talking down to the Green New Deal, talking about pollution, how, there's pollution, but, climate change isn't real. I'm just going to tell them, hey, that amount of pollution has been, as unfettered as it has been in capitalism, is leading to the size of your penis shrinking. And then all of a sudden, watch. Like, this story needs to be blown up. Because watch how fast they change their minds about climate change once they're like, oh, my dingle is shrinking? Fuck. The creator of the plastic bag created it to stop wastage of paper and reusability. How ironic. Yeah.